see me and the board. And we got one game that is still in progress. Wow, black is trying to checkmate white. And I mean, aren't they doing it? Yes, they are. Oh, yes, they know how to checkmate. That is rook f1 mate. And white's rook was unfortunately placed on the 6th rank. This is not a good rank to be on. If you're trying to make a draw, the closer you are to black's king, the more likely it is that you're going to lose. And that's the theory of these endgames. And now we are going to be going to round 6. So let's see the standings. We got Mishonik. That is Alexei Sorana. Well, and earlier on, we saw a really exciting game that he played against Brewington Hardaway from New York that he managed to win, even though he was losing. I thought I was bringing you guys all that excitement from that game, but, I guess it was just um, me. I was sharing it with myself. And then we got Champ 2005. I'm not sure who that is, but that's an Indian player. We got Big Fish. That's Fedoseev. Anton Demchenko on Drake and his Fair Chess on YouTube. We got Jeffrey Xiong on 4.5 out of 5. Daniel Naroditsky. So we have, Daniil Dubov and Gadakamsky is playing. Okay, Jan Nepomniachtchi is playing. Very cool. Guys, let's get to the games and see who is playing now. Sorana versus Fedoseev. Daniel Naroditsky. Oh, we got Jeffrey Xiong and Draken. Okay. I got to go for this one, guys. It's a really big matchup of two very strong players, both 2700s. So we got Jeffrey. This looks like it's actually hard for me to predict the opening that this was. Perhaps an exchange, like some kind of a French variation. Maybe a French Tarrasch is actually what it looks like it could have been. And now black just leapt in with his knight, and white has a really big problem because of this pin on the diagonal. Black is threatening a lot of things. I mean, not the least of which is, okay, taking the knight, maybe taking the bishop. I mean, black's position is good in pretty much every way. So right now, Andrakin looks like he definitely has the upper hand. How is Jeffrey going to pull this out? Well, we don't know, but we're going to take a look at Daniel Naroditsky, who has done a rook lift, brought his rook to g3. Oh, there's so many tactics in this position. Black just played d5, which looks like a really nice move because obviously it's all about the e1 square, guys. Black wants to open up the e file, and then there's going to be tactics. There could be just probably the simple bishop c5 would be good enough if white takes that pawn. Yeah, I think Danya is certainly facing some questions in this game. So he did allow this. Yeah, he didn't believe that this is all that dangerous. He's going to go bishop e3. On bishop c5, fortunately, there's bishop e3. I think that's an important move, opening up this rook, building a little bit of harmony. Now he's going to go rook e3, right? Okay, so he played the principled way. I think he had to find something like that. Now black has 2 bishops and he's down a pawn. Let's see how he's going to build that initiative. I definitely think black has nice compensation for the pawn. I mean, you can see white's pieces are not that well developed. He just wants to take on d5. And is it possible to save the pawn? Yeah, c4. I mean, you have to hold on to it. It's a very nice pawn to hold on to. And basically, what white wants is some kind of like bishop d2, rook ae1, rook e5. So what does that do? Is he trying to go rook g5 or just rook e8? Okay. Bishop d2 runs into queen b2. So you might have to be a little more clever. Cool. It's playing for the initiative. How about c5? If we're talking about the initiative, how about that? Okay, now watch out for bishop h3, Danya. There is that idea in the position, but okay, you got it all taken care of. You can't really go rook e1 because there will be a bishop e4. In the end, you're going to lose your extra pawn. So it's still tricky for white. Obviously, the worst is behind him. He got the queen trade. He's really low on time. Wow, he went for this? Is that good? That doesn't look good to me. What am I missing? I mean, am I missing like rook e1, knight e1, bishop e4, c6? But you're still, after b6, still going to lose the pawn. Is Danya just trying to make a draw? I mean, he's really lower on time, and that wouldn't surprise me. Black was threatening rook e2, I guess. So what is he thinking about? So he's thinking about how ambitious he needs to be. Yeah, should he go rook d8? Try to regain the pawn like that without trading the rooks? Or trade the rooks and go bishop e4? And if he goes rook d8, right, okay. Oh, interesting. Just like that. He's still up a pawn, but this knight is not moving. So you would think that he would be able, yeah, I mean, he's still not going to win the pawn so easily. Oh, bishops of opposite color. Got it. So black can make a draw. Oh, yeah, that's an easy draw. Right, okay, this game is winding down, guys. Yeah, in fact, they already agreed to a draw. How is Jeffrey doing? Back to Jeffrey and Andraken. Apparently he's doing very badly. He just lost a rook. His other rook is hanging, and behind that rook is the f2 pawn. So things are not going well. Oh, not at all. Yeah, it's kind of over for this game. All right, let's see what else we got. We got Sarana and Big Fish. Fedoseev. Looks like black. Fedoseev should be taking this game. He's up a knight. And where's the checkmate? Don't see one yet. It's not like a forced mate, but he doesn't really need to rush very much. And he has so much time, right? Okay, let's see what else is going on here. We got Jumbo from, I think that looks like a Kazakhstan flag, playing Dubov. White's a bit better, yeah, but with the bishops of opposite color, position being completely closed, I don't really see white winning this. He's trying to open up some lines. He is kind of still, if anyone's going to win, it's going to be white. But this does look like more like a draw. Let's take a look at, oh, two Americans. Yes, Gadakamsky playing Brandon Jacobson. Okay, well, that is a draw. That is a Philidor position. What black's rook just cuts the king on the 6th rank. That's an easy draw. Vincent Kmart, young German player, a student of Peter Liko. I don't know if they're still working together, but they were at some point in the past. And he is rated around like 2640 these days. Basically Germany's best young player. How is he doing in this game? Not so well, right? He's worse. He's down a pawn. Of course, there's always chances for a draw. He doesn't have much time. Neither of them do. This is very difficult. Wow. I mean, black is... If I were black, if I were white, I would just make some checks. White is trying to win. He wants to flag him. He could have just made checks, but he's still hoping to flag him. Yeah, I mean, it's despite that pawn, it's not easy for black to make progress because his king is cut on the back row. And I think this is like a game of nerves, right? Like the white king is actually improved, and now the black rook can't do anything. However, losing for black is impossible too. Like if black doesn't want to, he's not going to lose because the white king is cut, so you can't really make any more progress. Now they're gaining some time, but you can see that like kind of white is the one trying, I think, right? Even though he's down a pawn. Interesting. Now, who else do we have still in action? Not so many players. Kabalia. Trying to hold a fortress. Two Russian players. Ooh, okay. Black could have, taken the rook, but he's not winning the king and pawn endgame. So Mikhail Kabalia is just moving his rook around, and he's found those two lovely squares, g3 and e3, and that ended in a draw. And we got, let's go back to how Vincent Kamar is trying to win this position. He has actually won a pawn. Look at that. He's won, the black c5 pawn has disappeared from the board. It's interesting the tenaciousness he's showing. Like, he really wants to win. Look at this inroads that he's making with the king. Remember we talked about that king? He never should have been allowed to the g file, but he's fine. Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't bothered to give that check. I mean, I suppose black is still not in any danger whatsoever. Yeah, probably a good idea, I would say, to have moved his king to b8 just a little bit further away from all the danger. It's funny to be commentating on this position seriously, guys, you know. Yeah, now finally black should just put his king on d4. That's right. Now you're gonna have to give up on the idea of mating him. And maybe black can go and like try to take a pawn somewhere, sack the rook for the bishop and pawn, and if white's king is really misplaced, maybe black can play for a win, but I doubt that that's going to happen. Yeah, you see how he's kind of positioning his rook. Right, like somewhere around here, go king e4, rook d5, and then like, oh, see, white is doing that idea. The idea I was just talking about, white did it. Oh, but black is finding a way to draw. Okay, that is a fair result. Very fair. Okay, they're still playing. Okay, exciting round, and we just passed the halfway mark of the tournament. So that was round 6, so we got a few more left. Let's take a look at the standings, guys. Wow, a couple of perfect scores. Fedoseev, champ 2005. We will take a look at their game next. We got Fair Chess on YouTube has given up a draw. Danya Naroditsky, Jan Nepomniachtchi, Alexei Sorana, 5 out of 6. Daniil Dubov in 5 out of 6. I'm just saying the players who I recognize. Aram Hakobian in 5 out of 6. Santo Blue, I've seen his game earlier today. So there's a lot of players on 5 out of 6. You know, that seems like a great score. Jeffrey Xiong, 4.5 out of 6. The Tiger in a Hat. Tigr Flyapy, that's Gadakamsky, 4.5 out of 6. All right, so we have lots of good players, but let's just take a look at the top boards. We're on round 7 now, and we will definitely be following the top games. So let's start with Fedoseev and Champ 2005. This looks like it was I would say, an exchange Spanish, right? That's probably what it was. Okay, so kind of a positional line. Not super familiar with this structure, but okay, white in general wants to trade pieces, go into an endgame with like this better pawn structure, the pawn on e4. So how annoying is this pin? Is white just going to go knight g3 and h3? Maybe even h3 next and then knight g3? Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. So black has some issues, right? To solve, this move is definitely coming next. Yeah, this position, it's about the structure, right? That white's pawn structure is better due to these doubled pawns. So pawn takes d4, right. So he's going to try to attack down the e file. I don't know, rook e8, perhaps? c5, interesting. Yes, very interesting move. He wants to go knight e5. And then if you go knight there, there's like tactics. Knight d3, double attack. Interesting. I mean, I still think, well, what happens if you take? If you take, I guess the knight will need to take. Yeah, because if you take with the bishop, there's going to be a problem with queen d5 check. And yeah, so he went for this, and he's going to go knight d2. Knight d3, maybe like rook. No, okay, he decides to let black double his pawns. Computer finds this to be a dubious strategy, but I can see some sense in it for white. Like, I wouldn't say that it's a terrible decision for a blitz game. I mean, he's not going to have that king safety, but he's got a strong center. He will be putting the king on h1 and the rook on g1. So I think from a practical point of view, what white did does make sense to me, right? Chess is not just mathematics. You got to feel the dynamics of the game and making decisions that allow you to play more easily. And I think that's what white has done, right? He kind of has this concept, you know, king h1, rook g1, and using the strong center as his shield in this game. Of course, the bishop on b6 is none too impressive. And how is black going to improve it? I mean, black needs to chip away at the center, but it's not easy, right? c4. So he's basically offering up that pawn, but of course, if white takes it, there's f2. White will never take it. I think he doesn't really want to allow that bishop to be traded for the knight. Okay. So I don't know what this d6 move is. This looks very complicated. Just pawn takes pawn. In general, I'm not a fan, actually, of what white is doing, because why would white be like giving up his space advantage like that? What's the point of all these trades? If you wanted to attack on the side of the board, why trade stuff in the center? So I'm not a fan of what just happened for white. And black is fine. Yeah. At this point, I feel like the pendulum has swung the other way. So white is okay. Yeah, like there's bishops of opposite colors. There's lots of, you know, maneuverability to make a draw. But, and it's not hard for him to like get a pawn back, I think, in this position. I mean, he can take on d6 whenever he wants. But the point is that white has lost that initiative and that sort of like nice picture he was going for in the last few moves. But okay, I mean, what to do for black as well. No, right, rook d8 is okay. b5, I think at some point we will see, right? b5. Yeah, queen f7 is perfectly good. White might need to think about how to get out of that pin. f5 is interesting, right? Will he do it or not? It's kind of a big decision, but you can't let white play f5. You just can't. There is no way. Wow. Okay, you know what? I guess you can. If your bishop's not there and you're going to c6, I guess you can. But, I mean, I understand why he didn't play f5, because it also like puts pawns on light squares and weakens his dark squares. But I feel like, yeah, right now, bishop c7? Wasn't there a bishop c7? Wasn't that like winning something? Okay, well, that didn't happen. So why is white winning? Oh, pawn takes, rook takes? Is that it? Nope. f3 is a nice move, though. I love that move. Totally blocking the bishop. You see, now white has that space, and white has big time advantage. So white is going to break through, I think. Rook g5, yeah? Yeah, he outplayed him. Yep. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wouldn't have let white play that pawn to f5. It turned out to be pretty dangerous. All right, let's go take a look. As Fedoseev stays on his perfect score on Draken, trying to catch up to him against Danya Naroditsky, and he will, because he has like extra exchange, totally safe king. He's completely winning. Let's keep going. Anton Demchenko is playing against Serrana. And what's going on here? It's a lot harder to say. So black has 5 pawns, white has 4. Black has bishop and pawn for the rook. Nice bishops. Complicated position. And complicated for the amount of time they have, for sure. King f7. Yeah. So Serrana has more time. Demchenko, you know, the position almost doesn't matter very much here, because when you have less than 10 seconds, it's like, who is it easier to play with? I feel like it's easier to play as black, because the rooks are not really able to do anything here. Right, and see, black is the one making all these annoying attacks. Yeah, black is White is happy with a draw. That's the bottom line. Can black win? Well, he's going to try. Yes, good move defending the rook because bishop c5 was a threat. Huh. Yeah, you can see how white is struggling here, right? a4 maybe he'll play at some point. I don't know. He can consider that move. But what he's trying to do is like just make white make moves, right? And keep him under those 5 seconds and not even doing anything specific. Bishop d5, right? Like this is what it's all about. But you know, yeah, so black is still trying, right? Yeah. White had this dream of trading the rooks on the d file. That didn't happen. Rook d4, okay. Took a bunch of pawns, but white's rooks finally have activated. Yeah, that wasn't bad for white. Now the rook is threatening to e7. Wow. Okay, white's got the upper hand. Black overdid it. But it doesn't mean that white's going to win. We don't know that. We got no idea because anything can happen when they're down to like 5 seconds. But things have improved a lot. Yeah, rook e1, just threaten some sort of check. Yeah, there you go. Rook c7, I don't know, you're getting close to a checkmate. b4, king a3. You're just, okay. Weird. I would have put the king on a3. Things are going so fast. It's hard to say anything here, guys. Looks like white is winning. They literally have no time. Wow, he gave up. He just wants to promote the pawn, but there's a chance he might get mated. I mean, who's winning here? I guess he's looking for that check. It's still winning, yes. Okay, black has only one check, and white is winning here. Okay. So Demchenko pulled out a tough win against Alexei Sarana, right? Because he was basically playing for a draw this whole time. But this is what happens. Sometimes you try a little too hard and things backfire. So let's take a look at the standings, guys. Fedosave on a perfect score. Andreykin, his compatriot, is half a point behind Jan Chess. Jan Pomnishi has 6 out of 7. Lots of players in the chasing group. And Volodar Murzin, he's a young player from Russia, is also in that group. All right, well, let's get to the games. Let's see what's going on. How about we take a look at, Fedosave Andreykin. Let's just keep going with this top board, guys, as it does mean a lot for the tournament standings. F4, I guess, is the point here. And black's position looks totally acceptable to me. Andreykin is a very solid player, I think. And Fedosave is a bit more of an offbeat player, and certainly in his opening choices, right? Like you can see, black has set up a very solid position. White's got this guy on, g3. Okay, he's trying to make it a bit better. But certainly at the moment, black is comfortable. What will white do with this bishop? Bishop e2? Or take on e4, perhaps? Will he throw in a capture? It doesn't really give him very much. But perhaps he will throw in this capture. How long can we tolerate the knight on e4? 4. Right, I probably would throw in that capture right now. Because if they take, I take more. Wow, he threw in the capture, but not the one I expected. Wow, he gave up the light squared bishop, huh? And he kept himself with the knight? I'm shocked. Yeah, because when I look at that knight, I don't see a whole lot of perspective for that piece. So, but, that's what I mean when I say Fedosave is a more offbeat player. Maybe we will see his concept with some time. Yeah, knight of 6, sure. I guess he'll be taking it or not. No, he wants to go g4. But look, black is making some progress on the queen side. At some point, he's going to put the rook on b8 and say to white, you have to pay attention to me too. Yep. g4. Well, this knight is strong, and I think white's, playing consistently with his G4 move. How big is this attack going to be? Can you go knight h5, by the way? Or is that, like, I wish I could go knight h5 and g6, and that would just stop all your play forever. But you're going to have to go g6, right? Or, yeah, because if you let me play g6, your attack would be over. So white is going to have to mix it up. And I think overall, I like where this is going for white, just the dynamic of the play. White has a lot of pieces on the king side, and the fact that, these pieces are not really involved in the defense of the king side makes me optimistic for white. So, okay, so black is playing very principled. Now it's on white, and you had to justify giving up that pawn and getting the knight under attack. I guess you can take on h7. That looks pretty normal. Bishop e1, some weird move. Wow, look at that. Bishop e1 hangs the rook on a1. Maybe it's still kind of interesting, but because you are attacking this knight, but I mean, once you take it, they're going to play h6. It's not going to work. Okay, yeah, rook d1 looks like a more normal move, but this is not such a crazy idea, guys, because you're attacking the knight and you're threatening knight e4. So this very unexpected retreat, right? But we might see it. Okay, h6 by black. How about h6? How about just closing up some stuff? Nope. Okay, he's protecting the knight. Yeah, smart. Draken, playing it cool, under fire. So bishop e1? No, it doesn't really make sense anymore. How does he get more pieces in? Bishop g5? There's still g6. On bishop g5, this is a very important defensive resource for black, because otherwise you'd have no way to protect your knight. So he's holding it together. Oh, wow. What is this? Look at this crazy stuff. Knight c4. Wow. Pawn takes, knight takes, and this is, I mean, it's a crazy move. It looks interesting to me. Okay, it didn't seem to work, right? Okay, because the queen was protecting the bishop. Yeah, on Draken, he really is a very cool player. Sounds like, because white has really tried to throw everything at him in this game, and he hasn't been fazed by it. Rook b1, and he has a minute advantage on the clock. That's super impressive. So if he wins, he's actually going to take over the lead in the tournament. He's going to have half a point more than everyone else. Shall we see what Jan Nepomniachtchi is doing? We haven't seen any of his games, and he's an exciting player. So he's way up on time. Demchenko seems to still have a normal position, but with his amount of time on the clock, I don't think he's going to survive against Jan. I mean, bishop c5, black is just up a pawn. Yes, bishops of opposite color, but such an advantage on the clock. I do think that Jan will convert this. Objectively speaking, it's probably not too bad for white, right? Queen e2, king g2. Yeah, like you can hold on, right? But with the amount of time you have, I just feel like Jan will be able to trick him somewhere. So let's take a look what we got here. Champ from India playing OGC Panda. Kind of a pretty staid endgame. I don't see that much action going on here. Let's keep going. Castor just beat Daniil Dubov. All right. So, all right. Let's see how this is coming along between Fedoseev and Andreykin. Okay, Andreykin is up a piece. So, I guess he's going to win. Yeah, he seems to be in great shape, and is certainly a favorite, I think, going into these last few rounds to win the event. Danya Naroditsky playing Conrad Holt from America. Two Americans in this battle. Danya has no time, but he's got the better position. Okay, but it's not that much better. Okay, 1 pawn advantage. Thankfully, it's pretty solid. He can win this. Totally can win this. But now the rook goes behind the pawn. I think white's winning. Yeah, I think white's just going to take his king to b7. Like that will happen. And though even though Danya has totally built up his clock, right? He had like 2 seconds. Now it's not so bad. As long as he moves. Okay, he's trying to gain some time on the clock. But I mean, yeah, obviously going to F1 was just a ploy to gain some time. That wasn't like a real plan or anything. Okay, let's take a look. Volodar Morzin up a piece, winning against Grandmaster Dimitri. I think he's from Germany. Exotic Princess. Okay, Alexandra Kostyniuk. Oh no, sorry. I mixed up the princess and the queen. All right, Exotic Princess is not the same thing as the chess queen. All right, so that's Badur Jabava. And what is he doing against Vincent Kmar? I mean, he's losing. That's what's going on here. Black is a queen. Going to try to promote the pawn. There's still some work to be done, but yeah, this is like really bad, and he doesn't have much time. Oh, how about Santo Blue is winning in the king and pawn endgame. He's about to promote. And we have a few more games left. Daniel Naroditsky. There we go. Is he winning? Yeah, he's winning. He managed to save that pawn, so he should win. Being very tricky to gain some time on the clock, right? H4, yeah, H4 you want to go maybe G4 or something. Just keep more pawns on the board. I would go G4, okay, but he did fine. Why not win a pawn? Sure. Okay, he should be able to win this. And Conrad Holt actually had more time than him. Yeah, so we know that he's winning. Let's see anything else we got here. Oh, that's a draw between, I'm not sure who those players are. And, okay, what is this? Let me think back to my knowledge. This should be a draw, right, guys? Because the king is in the right corner. Bishop A2. Wait, no. You had bishop A2, right? This is, yeah, try to stay in the corner. But obviously it's really hard when you're when you let your opponent mate you in 1. That was checkmate in 1. Rookie 1. Incredible. See what time does to people, guys? It makes them look very foolish, right? It was a checkmate in 1 and black missed it. And I don't know, looks like black has great chances to win, honestly. I don't feel like white knows exactly how to hold this position. But, I mean, he's holding the bishop on the right diagonal, right? So you can't really go that wrong. That's very hard with this amount of time, though. Bishop f7, rook f1. Okay, no. Do not walk away with your king. This is what I mean. Like, white did some things in this endgame, guys, that are just, like, completely antithetical to this endgame. Like, trying to move the king out of the, A and B files. Yeah, so now black is going to win, and we're going to take a look at the standings. Andreikin taken over first place from Fedoseev, who now has 7 out of 8. Jan Nepomniachtchi 7 out of 8. Castor 7 out of 8. Lots of players on 7 out of 8. Okay, exciting. So we have 3 more rounds left, guys. Let's see the games. So far, Andreikin has been definitely impressive to me. And I think this is what I like about his play is, like, I think that's a trademark feature is that, even when he's getting attacked, he's just like, oh, I'll just take that C3 pawn, go ahead, show me the compensation. So he's like, that's his thing. He's a cold-blooded player. And right now, it appears like the games are not up yet. So let's just take a look at more of the standings. We got the tiger in the hat right here at 6 out of 8. Daniel Dubov, Alexei Dreyev, kind of a very strong player from all the way back to the 1990s. Kind of same generation actually as Vishy Anand. We got Hrant Hofsani. I don't know. I'm going to get his name wrong if I try to pronounce it. Hovhannisyan, I believe that's how you pronounce it. At 6 out of 8. Anyone else? Well, we recognize these guys, Zhigalko and Demchenko, because those are their real names. Jeffrey has only 5.5 out of 8, so I'm a little disappointed there. I like to see him higher up in the standings. Anyone else? Do we have any ladies playing? This is such a hard tournament. We got Robert Hess, guys, on 5 out of 8. This is such a tough event. You know, when I played in it, I didn't get that many points either. You know, you don't even have to be playing in the top boards to play strong players. It's that strong. Chess Queen has 5 out of 8. Well, let's go take a look. Maybe we have some games now. Nope, I don't think we do. So that means I just continue my stream of consciousness. Talk here. Yeah. So, you know, this is my first time ever doing commentary by myself, guys. That's pretty exciting, terrifying as well, you know, and I cannot say it got off to the smoothest start, as I basically talked to myself for the first 40 minutes without realizing that I had like not switched over to the correct screen. But we're back on track. So hopefully you can see me and hear me. And I just cannot wait for these next games to start. Wish I had the Twitch chat open so I could interact with you guys. All right, I guess I'll tell you about my upcoming chess plans. I am going to be leaving in a couple of weeks to the American Cup in St. Louis, which is a new tournament, kind of exciting format, like a knockout format that the St. Louis Chess Club has come up with. And definitely like heavily focused on American players because it's still pretty challenging to get people to come in from overseas. The Cairns Cup this year, which is one of the top tournaments for women, was postponed again. It was supposed to be in February, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Let's see what else exciting news we have. Well, the Chess Olympiad is going to be in India. I'm sure most of you guys know that. It's going to be in Chennai, which is the city of Anand's birth. And that is in the southeast of India. Southeast of India, I already checked out the map because India is huge, guys. And I've always wanted to visit Sri Lanka. Okay, it's a secret, I'm telling you now. Like, I've wanted to visit it for a while. I used to have a student from Sri Lanka, like a girl, years ago. And I was like, oh, let me learn a little bit more about this island. And it just seemed really beautiful. And I thought when the Olympia got switched over to Chennai, I was so pleased to see that, like, it's literally just like an hour's flight away from Sri Lanka. Right, so it could be like a perfect opportunity to visit this country, but there are some issues right now. I was like doing a little bit of research. They having a lot of problems because I think of these last 2 years, right, has been horrible for the tourism industry, and they're very tourism dependent. You know, at this moment, like the government, I think they didn't have money to pay for like fuel and yeah, there's some economic and political issues going on in Sri Lanka now. So I'm not so sure if I will be able to go. Hopefully, you know, really visit a country that in turmoil. Let's see, what else can I tell you about, guys? We did my Olympiad. Okay, U.S. Championship is going to be in October this year. That's quite a whiles away. I'm actually thinking of playing in the World Open. World Open, big U.S. Open tournament in July. I haven't played in a few years, and it's nice because it's close to home. So if some of you guys are looking for a tournament, you might want to consider that one. Let's see what other big news we have in the chess world. Vishy Anand is apparently joining the re-election team of the FIDE president, Arkady Dvorkovich. So this is kind of an interesting piece of news because Anand has not really been very involved in chess politics over these last 30 plus years that he's been playing chess. So this is an interesting move. And I'm sure it's somewhat linked to the fact that India is hosting the Olympiad. I mean, that was a big move for India. Mm, I haven't been in India myself for 20 years. There was a time, okay, I think we can we can now go back to the games now, guys, right? They seem to be up. Let's go. All right, here we are. This is a Sicilian. Wow, I know this. This is a Sicilian rouser, guys, and I know this position because I have played it myself as black. It's like something so familiar to me. So Jan Nepomniachtchi playing his usual e4, and Andreykin going for a rouser. This line, oh wait, but there's one thing missing. It's a little different from the line I was thinking about because there's no black pawn on h6 where there usually is. So this is actually different from the one I was thinking about. It might not have been a rouser. Okay, now rook d4, e5, and what? Obviously, Andreykin was planning for e5. Oh, but there's bishop h6. He forgot maybe about that. He forgot that white would like threaten checkmate. Okay, maybe he also forgot about rook a4. That's an easy move to miss. So basically what had just happened in the last couple of moves, guys, black has given up a pawn, right? Like a center pawn, the d pawn. That's a big pawn, and he obviously overlooked something, and Jan just snatched it very confidently. Is this queen trapped? It's not. Nope, it's not trapped. It can go to g5, but obviously that suits white just fine because he will trade and play f4. Just have an extra pawn. He will play rook d1. I mean, what's the other move? The other alternative is knight b6. That looks like, no, you're not going to play knight b6. I just don't think that's going to happen. Oh, wow, it happened? Well, what about rook c6? Yeah. What are you planning here? Looks to me like Andreykin has like lost the thread after having blundered. Okay, so he's just in kind of like desperation mode. Fine. What can we do? Oh, h6, Jan. Stylish. Look at that. What a stylish move, guys. Like just noticing that pawn on g7. Okay. e5. I suppose queen e5 is the move that I would look at, but b3, sure, that's nice. Very nice, Jan. Like defending a1, restricting the knight, like beautiful move. Yeah. Jan is playing really well. Like I think in this game we can see why he is a world championship challenger. And after rook e8, okay. Now, is rook h7 a move? It's on the agenda. Okay. So Jan thought it's a move. Now let's do some calculation, guys. It has to be taken, right? So queen h3, king g8 you can't do because of checkmate. So he sees the checkmate. I saw this part and I still wasn't sure where it was. Wow. Yeah, there it is. Very nice, Jan. That was brutal. Brutal. And he just took down the leader because Andreykin had taken it from Fedoseev and now Jan took it from him. All right, let's take a look. I mean, I love that game, guys. That was good. But, I mean, he did give up that center pawn, and as it turned out, for nothing. And then he just didn't really maintain his level of play after that. Morzin playing Fedoseev. Okay, Morzin, young player. We've known about him for a long time. Now he's like, you know, an established grandmaster. He's down a minute on the clock. And what is he thinking about? Is he thinking about whether he can sack on h6? Because that's what I would be thinking about. And I'm sure he wants to do it, right? But you need time. You need time to evaluate moves like that. You can't just give up your pieces. And yeah, he knows it's a big moment. He's got some, like, he has a nice looking position. And probably rook e5. I don't know, is there something wrong with that? I would play rook e5, yeah. Black is solid enough. He's solid enough for a position where his opponent is under 20 seconds. That's important. So rook e3, yeah, I mean, there's basically nothing wrong with the position anymore. They can go knight f5. I mean, yeah, you don't really need to stay with that knight on h4 forever. He's also probably thinking about rook d5, but I don't think that's not the kind of move you want to do. There's all kinds of tricks with like knight of6. Okay. So what to do? Knight f5, right? Am I... Why do these guys not like this move? I don't know. Someone's got to tell me that one. Queen c3. What does he want? I don't really know what he wants. Knight d4. Can he go in here? There's not much point. I mean, the rook will just go to e3. Really interesting play by Fedosey with like bringing his king to e7 just to kind of support things. Yeah, knight d4 will probably happen now. Interesting move by white too. Okay, he went to h4, rook e3. He wants to go for this square. Ooh, oh no, he like missed that idea. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's losing now. All right, had too little time. Yeah, time matters a lot in these games. Vincent Kamar, playing Champ 2005, and who is better here? Well, obviously, black has a nicer looking position. I wouldn't want to be white, but maybe white can make a draw. Yeah, that's a good move, right? Attack g6, but he's going to take on b4 and play d4. Yeah, I mean, black is still like in the driver's seat, right? Maybe it's going to be a draw, but black has the initiative. d3, right? It's very easy to know what to do with black. Like you rely on pawn promotion and maybe combine that with some mate threats. Would be nice. But I mean, white's still holding on. Yeah, he wants to go king e3, and like I said, start making those mate threats. King e3, that's it. That's it. Game over. That's a checkmate. On the back rank. Yeah, he had the initiative. And he's driving it home. All right. OZ Panda versus Danya. Danya is involved in another rook endgame. He loves those. Yeah. And he's up a pawn, and he should win. King g4, king g6, he's thinking. I don't know. Can he win? Yeah, he's threatening rook a8. Wait. I'm trying to understand what's going on here. Okay. I still don't really know. Right. Okay, that one looks good. Because you want to make sure you don't lose this pawn. You really want to make sure you don't lose that pawn. And he didn't. So everything is good. And he had something very similar, I feel like, today. Okay, he's going to win. That's cool. He had less points than that guy. Who's winning here? It's definitely white is winning against Konevets. And how about battle of two Russian players? Wow, this ended in a draw? Wow, they didn't even try to play it? This is the strangest thing. Why would this have ended in a draw? Oh, and they've played this for a while. No, I'm sorry, I find that fascinating, guys, because, you know, you don't often see king and pawn endgames that wind up with a draw with one side being down a pawn. So, I mean, yes, the pawns are all on the side of the board. It does matter a lot that there's like H pawns, but still kind of amazing that white just can't really break through, right? Because, I mean, on this move, black just trades. And black is using opposition to kind of hold off white's king. Amazing. Okay, very cool. Alexei Dreyev using his experience to stay in the game. All right, Gata Kamsky. We've wanted to see his game for a while. And he is defending. And he should make a draw. This is pretty trivial. Hopefully, yeah, it's not very difficult. You just keep your king and you give some checks, and then you trade the rooks and you go in with the king. So how about the other game? Oh, other game is even less interesting, so we're going to stick with this one. Oh, wait, apparently black had a win somewhere? Oh, like right here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Gata. Oh, he's not going to be happy. Yeah, that's not going to make him pleased to lose that endgame. Oh, okay, let's take a look at the standings, guys. Jan, 8 out of 9, 3 players. Castor, we haven't even seen his games. I'm just not sure who that is, but we will definitely watch his game. Andraken thrown back to a tie for 4th to 5th place. And Fedoseev making his comeback. He has 8 out of 9 now. And of course, lots of really good players further down the line. We got Daniel Naroditsky, Jeffrey Xiong, Daniil Dubov, Alexei Dreyev. I mean, they have 6.5 out of 9. So, and poor Tiger here has 6 out of 9. Robert Hess. Here we go. Chess Queen, 6 out of 9. So a lot of strong players on that score. Bortnik, who is also like has done very well in these Title Tuesdays, 6 out of 9. All right. Do we have any games? Yes, we do. Let's do Castor Chess versus Jan. French defense, I think. Wait. Yeah, it's a French defense. I'm pretty sure. Also makes sense because Jan Nepomniachtchi does play the French defense, and I know that because I remember his games from the candidates tournament in Hanty-Mansijsk, right around the time that the pandemic started. He was playing the French, and he did not play the French against Magnus Carlsen in his match. So that was like just for that tournament. He did quite well with the French. He lost one game, I think, at the end to Vacher Legrave. But he's playing it again. Rook f3. I don't know. That was a really interesting exchange sack. Take the e5 pawn. Actually, I find that fascinating. But he's just going to go, yeah. Is he going to take on b2? Oh, no, he doesn't need to. Whoa. Jan, you're making it look too easy. You're just taking material from these guys. Like you've only spent 20 seconds. It's not supposed to look that easy. You know, the game is already over, right? Incredible. So, yeah, no, it's nice to see Jan playing well. But it's not just well, it's like how fast he plays, right? Okay, let's just go and see something that is maybe more competitive, which is Big Fish playing against Njal from, oh yes, this is Aram Hakobian. He has the United States flag. And what's going on in this position? It's obviously some kind of a Grunfeld, right? That's what this looks like. Material is even. Black has the queen side majority. White's got the center majority. It does look balanced. Black's pieces look active. The queen on d5 is really good. Bishop c2. Queen b5. Okay, it doesn't like trap the queen. Knight c2 is a move. Bishop d7. Okay. Queen d1, only move. Yeah, he wants to win the a3 pawn. Rook b1, I suppose. Rook b1. What else can he do? I mean, his rook's hanging. And rook c1, he just takes on a3. So rook b1, right? I think. What am I missing here? Like, what could he be thinking about? Yeah, there's nothing to think about, right? That's the whole point. You're not going to sack the exchange. Like, you don't have compensation for it. I know it doesn't look like your position is very good. It's like I'm talking to him, right? I'm talking to White. His position doesn't look like it's very good, but he's just got to make a move, right? Rook b1. Yeah, there we go. That didn't require that much thinking. All right, because we know the Fedoseev is quite merciless on the clock, and giving him a 30-second advantage is not the best idea. So he's thinking. What is Fedoseev thinking about? He has more to think about. In fact, I kind of like his move b5. The computer doesn't, but I do. Makes a lot of sense. Very logical. Okay. b4, I suppose. Yeah, b4, rook c3 ideas. I mean, you have to make sure your knight doesn't get trapped on c2, right? Like, it's definitely getting there. You have to make sure that knight has a way out. So, whoa. Okay, maybe. That looks interesting, right? Fedoseev doing some weird things again. But makes sense, right? I mean, how does White protect this pawn? White's going for the initiative, okay. At some point, he just has to take on b5, maybe even pretty soon. Yeah. Also needs to be a little careful about bishop e5 and bishop c4 ideas. But there's a lot to kind of calculate here. And I feel like, yes, I feel like he's gone a bit overboard, Fedoseev. Right, so he did go for this. I have no idea what is the real implication of this move. Queen d2, I guess. Bishop f1, bishop a8, rook a8, yeah. To say I know what's going on, no, but I think queen d2 needs to be played, yeah. So, seems fine for white. Wow, he went like that. He didn't even capture the rook. Why not? He, yeah, no, Aram, I don't like where this is going for you. Okay, cool tactic, though. I didn't see that one. That is really nice. Rook c8. It's a pin, so he got a pawn. Yeah, he's getting compensation. I mean, this knight is not great. Amazing. What in the world? What in the world was that? I mean, is that really good? Oh, wow, because on rook takes, it's a check, and the queen is hanging. Completely forgot about that. So it's like a counter queen sacrifice. Yeah, nice job by Fedoseev there. That was really tricky. Rook a1. I think he'll play rook a1. Yeah, there we go. Because what you want to do when you play against the two bishops, guys, like they're better when they're accompanied by a heavy piece. That's why that rook trade was important. So now he's just going to come back with his knight. And yeah, white's trying to make a draw. Obviously, black is the one who has twice as much time and the better position. So I don't think it will be an easy task for Aram to hold this one. Let's take a look at what Andreykin is doing against Champ. Andreykin is up a pawn, a bit up on the clock, not really a position that's easy to win, but obviously it's also harder to defend in a way. You can't go rook here because black's going to just take your pawn. It's going to be a draw. So he has to find something here. Tricky move, right? So you cannot take the pawn because of rook e1 that wins a rook. Okay, yeah, he's made some progress. I like it. He cut off the king. Now he's going to go rook e7. Yeah, put the rook back on f8. Right? What are you thinking about? You got to go rook e7. You're really thinking here? Andreykin, wake up before you lose on time. Oh, no. Oh my gosh, something happened to his connection. That is so sad. So sad. No, that's actually not, it feels like not very fair, you know? Okay. Well, that's life. How is Fedoseev doing? He's doing well. Yeah, poor bishop is cornered and he's building his mating net. He's doing his zugzwangs, but like, where's the win exactly? I mean, it says like black is completely winning, but I don't quite see where that win is. Maybe put the, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem as trivial as like whatever the computer bar is saying here. There may be some very clever plan, but oh, maybe just take an f6. At some point, maybe you can, no, if you give up the rook for the bishop and pawn, you have to evaluate that king and pawn endgame. Like right here, right? Like you always need to evaluate that move. You might just be winning. Like, you know, that's an important thing to evaluate, this idea of taking. But, oh, okay, now it's, okay, he managed to win a pawn. So Fedoseev is going to take this game. Wait, yeah, okay, he's completely winning here. Let's take a look at, there's not that many games going on. I guess we can see this one, yeah. But you know what? I think it's pretty easy to evaluate this position. So we're not going to be on this for very long. And we are going to take a look at the standings, guys. Jan has been in dominating form these last couple of rounds that we've been watching him play. Fedoseev had one setback against Draken. That's it. And he's on up there with Jan. And we got Champ 2005 from India, a point behind them. So we know that Jan or Fedoseev are going to be the winners. And I just wonder, have they played each other yet? Because I cannot recall that game. Like, I remember the game between Jan and Draken, Fair Chess on YouTube, who's now fallen back. So who else can compete with them? Castor, right? We just saw that game. Alexei Sarana, Morzin, Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey's in 9th position, and Daniil Dubov. Let's go into the games, guys. Oh, that they have not. Yes, they have started. Very cool. Oh, don't tell me they made a draw already, and that's why their game hasn't appeared. Because I don't see the Jan game, and I have a feeling I know why. All right, that is disappointing. And so they hadn't played is the answer, right? Because that's the reason the game's not here. Like, they must have finished in like 2 seconds. I feel like they should have given us a show. I get it. You guys had a big score and you get to keep your prizes, but for the entertainment, we needed you to play. All right. So Champ is playing Sarana. Who is going to be the champ in this game? D5. Yeah, D5. Don't even think about it. Or maybe E5. Maybe I'm lying. You do need to think a little bit because E5 was an option too. But he developed. That makes sense as well. I mean, White has the initiative. Sarana is, fighting to stay alive. He can't put his knight here yet. All right, the knight's coming to B5. You might have to give up the bishop pair. No, this looks pretty bad for black. I wouldn't want to be black here. You know what I'm thinking? Like, can you go like bishop b4 and queen e7? You need to get the queen out of here. Maybe, yeah, that move I thought about. It's interesting. Yeah, you want to challenge the bishop. If bishop takes, you might even be able to take with a knight, right? Because you're hitting the queen. So what to do? I mean, they want to trade the bishops and kind of like play on the dark squares. Knight b5 looks pretty nice. I'm sure he's thinking about bishop takes, knight takes, but I don't think that really works for him. So I probably would just go here. He went with his knight to c4. Yeah, that makes sense as well, I guess. But I like the knight on b5. It just felt like a bit more stable. And let's see. What will black be doing here? Black might take. Queen takes. I don't know, queen e7. There's still some issues, right? Because then the queen is going to creep in and start attacking that pawn. And now on bishop takes, you can take knight takes. And you can't take the pawn because of bishop c4. Yeah, I like the queen here. I've been kind of advocating for that square. So I think he chose a good moment to do it. And black is on his way to equalizing. Where should the rook go? b8 or c8? Like, if I had to make a move instantly, I would just put it on b8. But c8 is, like, I don't know, just intuitively, like without any thinking, if I had to make like a safe move, I would put it on b8. But it doesn't mean that it can't go to c8. It certainly can, but then you have to look out for like knight d6, right? If you put it on c8, there was knight d6. So he took. Okay. Not sure about that, because you remember I told you about the queen? The creeping in? You got to be a little careful with those pawns. So I feel like white still has some pressure. right? Because if you take and I take, your knight hangs, and you don't have time for rook c5. Right, so he's trying to prepare that. What can we do? This is like a big moment. Oh, I know. Wait, can we go rook c1? Or there's bishop d4, rook c8. Yeah, we probably don't want to do that. So something smart. How about bishop c3? Bishop c3 is an interesting move. Yeah, because, you know, it's kind of anchored here, and you don't want to let that knight activate. Okay, so, but, you know, black is super solid, right? I mean, black's going knight g6. Oh, queen g5. What does that do? Well, that does it do something? I don't know. Ah, he's going to go knight g6. Wow. Okay, he's building up some serious initiative. Like, I wouldn't feel so happy seeing all those checks coming. And suddenly the queen is like doing nothing, but you can't even bring her back. Wow. So Irina is taking over the initiative here. Taking the knight is kind of a sad thing to do. Like, maybe you should, and just bring your queen back. Like, you won't lose if you do that. But it's also kind of sad to do that. Yeah, he did it. He's gonna. He goes for some tactics. Are these any good? I don't know. You got to calculate bishop f2. Yeah, I don't know. So, champ, you're playing with fire here. Like, he's not just going to cooperatively take your bishop, right? First, he's going to take here. Problems with the king. All right. What to do? I mean, yeah, he's probably going to go like a5 because he just has to, right? He has to like go for some initiative, but obviously there's not much left of white's position here. Wow. Irina, you're playing for a win, right? Don't give up. Okay. Oh, whoa. Is there a checkmate? Is it? I mean, I don't exactly see it, but okay, now I see it. I see. Very nice job, Irina. It's a lot faster at seeing things than I am. That was good. All right, we got Vincent Kamar, who is just completely winning against Daniil Dubov. So I think we will pass on that. He's up a rook here. Morzin and Castor. Yeah, that seems interesting. Oh, wait. Seems like these games are done. Wow, white won this one. Yeah, Morzin beat Castor, who was doing quite well. And the reason he won is that he's up a rook, and black was hoping to promote the pawn. Oh, wait. Wait. Did he lose on time? I am just not getting it. Well, black can promote a pawn with a check. Did he just forget that he was doing it with a check? Because if it wasn't a check, white could go knight f3 and win. Did he like resign here? That is so weird, right? Like, why would the game end on this point and not like that check? Okay. That's a total surprise to me. Shima Stream. Oh, they're still playing. Cool. Danya, look at that. He's in another rook endgame. It's all we ever see him get into, and he's always up a pawn or two. And he's going to win this one too, right? He's going to bring in his king. Yeah, that's it. He's got his opponent's king cut. Nope, again up 2 pawns. So I find that really funny. I guess we've learned something about Danya, which is that he enjoys those rook endgames. Okay, let us take a look, guys, at the standings. I wish these pictures I could tell a little bit more who is who. That is definitely Fedoseev. He's a 9.5 out of 11. That must be Jan and Pomnishi. And 8.5 out of 10. Let's just see if I can see the standings right here. No, he's at 9 out of 11. Alexei Sarana, Anton Demchenko, and Volodar Morzin. Wow. You know what's really funny, guys? We got 5 like Russian players in the top 5. That's a lot, yeah? Russia is a strong chess country. And then we have Jeffrey Xiong in place number 6. I think he, did quite well actually to finish that high because that means he must have won his last round. Champ, um, Champ could have been a bit higher. Champ could have been higher had he done better against Serrana, but he just had that tough last round loss. Vincent Kamer, young German player, also doing quite well, and our favorite streamer, Daniel Naroditsky, getting 8 out of 11, a really good score. So I think that is all for today, guys. Yeah, definitely an exciting day of chess. I think Jan played great. Fedoseev also played great. I mean, I feel like Andreikin played great as well. And if it wasn't for that loss on time and like a winning position at the one of the penultimate in the penultimate round, he could have been up a lot higher. So this was, yeah, really fun for me, guys, to commentate for you. And hopefully we will be doing more of this in the future. So I am going to sign off now, and I'll see you soon.